The Tibetan plateau is home to some of the highest and most isolated villages on Earth. Across these windswept mountains, where thin air and harsh winters have shaped life for centuries, small communities continue to preserve traditions that have almost disappeared from the modern world. Among them are the Drokpa villages. Surrounded by barren hills, grazing lands, and snow-covered peaks, these settlements have remained connected to the same landscape for generations. Stone homes overlook narrow valleys. Prayer flags move with the mountain wind, and every season brings new challenges that have long defined life here. Days begin early. Livestock are led toward high pastures. Families work the land during the short growing season, and village life follows routines passed from one generation to the next. The pace is quiet, but every task carries a purpose. At first, these villages appear no different from many others scattered across the Tibetan plateau. But their story is unlike any other. For centuries, the Drokpa have protected customs, language, and traditions that continue to spark curiosity far beyond these mountains. Their distinctive clothing, unique festivals, and isolated way of life have made these villages one of the most remarkable cultural landscapes in the Himalayas. Today, we travel into the heart of the Drokpa villages to understand the land, the traditions, and the people who continue to call this extraordinary place home. To understand these villages, we must first understand the land that shaped them. The Tibetan plateau, often called the roof of the world, stretches across one of the highest inhabited regions on the planet. Towering mountain ranges, deep valleys, frozen rivers, and endless grasslands define a landscape where nature has always dictated the rhythm of life. At these elevations, every journey demands endurance. Every harvest depends on a short growing season, and every winter reminds people how powerful the mountains can be. For countless generations, the Drokpa villages have existed within this environment, adapting to conditions that would challenge even the most experienced travelers. The mountains provide protection, but they also create isolation. Villages remain separated by steep ridges and narrow valleys, while changing weather can make even short journeys difficult.
This is Dorkpa, 52 years old, and she is Norpu's wife. She just came back from the mountains looking for her lost yak.
Yet isolation has preserved something rare. While many cultures have gradually changed under the influence of the modern world, the Drokpa villages continue to protect traditions that remain deeply connected to their ancestors. Ancient customs are still practiced during festivals. Traditional clothing continues to be worn with pride. Local songs, stories, and beliefs are passed from elders to younger generations, keeping memories alive long after they disappear elsewhere. Life here has never been built around speed or convenience. Instead, it has been shaped by patience, cooperation, and a deep understanding of the land. Every season brings different responsibilities. Spring prepares the fields. Summer provides the brief opportunity to grow crops. Autumn becomes a time of harvesting and storing supplies. Winter tests both people and livestock with months of snow and freezing temperatures. This rhythm has remained unchanged for centuries. It is a way of life built not against nature, but alongside it. And nowhere is that relationship more evident than in the geography of the Drokpa villages, where every mountain, every valley, and every river has played a role in shaping one of the Himalayas' most remarkable communities. Life in the Drokpa villages has never been easy. At these high elevations, every season brings new challenges, and survival depends on experience passed from one generation to the next. The mountains provide everything the community needs, but only for those who understand how to live with them. Agriculture remains the foundation of daily life. During the short summer, families work from sunrise until evening, making the most of the limited growing season. Barley is the most important crop, along with wheat, peas, and a variety of hardy vegetables that can survive the cool mountain climate. Every harvest is carefully planned because it must provide enough food to last through the long winter ahead. Livestock are just as important as farming. Yaks, sheep, goats, and horses are more than animals. They provide milk, wool, meat, and transport across the rugged terrain. During the warmer months, herders guide them toward high-altitude grazing lands, where fresh grass covers the mountain slopes. As winter approaches, they are brought back closer to the villages, where food collected during summer helps keep them alive through the cold season. Food is rarely wasted. Grains are dried and stored inside family homes. Butter, cheese, and yogurt are prepared from yak and goat milk, while vegetables are preserved for the months when fresh produce is no longer available. Every household plans months in advance, knowing that a poor harvest or an unusually harsh winter can affect the entire community. The houses themselves are built for survival. Constructed from stone, mud, and timber, their thick walls keep warmth inside while protecting families from freezing winds. Small windows reduce heat loss, and the central room often becomes the heart of the home, where cooking, eating, and family gatherings all take place around a single fire. But no season tests the Drokpa more than winter. As temperatures fall below freezing, the landscape changes completely. Mountain passes disappear beneath heavy snow. Rivers begin to freeze, and strong winds sweep across the valleys day and night. Travel becomes difficult, and many villages remain isolated until the weather begins to improve. Preparation begins long before the first snowfall. Firewood is collected throughout the warmer months. Food is stored carefully inside every home, and livestock are sheltered from the bitter cold. Families repair their houses, strengthen roofs, and gather enough supplies to survive months with little or no contact with the outside world. Daily life also changes with the season. People spend more time indoors, repairing tools, weaving traditional clothing, preparing food, and sharing stories that have been passed through generations. Elders teach younger family members the customs and knowledge that cannot be learned from books. Winter is not only a season of endurance, but also a time when culture is preserved within the walls of every home. Despite the extreme conditions, life never comes to a complete stop. Children continue helping their families. Herders care for their animals. And religious traditions remain an important part of daily life. Every challenge is met with patience, cooperation, and the understanding that winter, no matter how harsh, will eventually give way to another spring. For the Drokpa, survival has never been measured only by enduring the cold. It is measured by the ability to protect their families, preserve their traditions, and continue a way of life that has survived in these mountains for centuries. But among all those who keep this community alive, one group carries responsibilities that reach far beyond the home. Women hold one of the most important roles in the Drokpa villages. Their responsibilities extend far beyond the household, reaching into farming, livestock, family life, and the preservation of traditions that have defined the community for generations. From an early age, girls learn the customs, skills, and practices that are passed from mothers to daughters, ensuring that the identity of the village continues with each new generation. Before sunrise, many women begin preparing the family's first meal, while also caring for livestock and organizing the day's work. During the growing season, they spend long hours in the fields, planting, weeding, and harvesting crops alongside the men. At home, they prepare dairy products, weave traditional clothing, preserve food for winter, and care for children and elderly family members. Every day is filled with responsibilities, yet each task plays an essential role in the survival of the community. One of the most recognizable features of the Drokpa women is their traditional dress. Their clothing reflects generations of craftsmanship and cultural identity. Long woolen garments protect them from the cold mountain climate, while silver ornaments, colorful beads, and elaborate jewelry have been worn for centuries during festivals and important family gatherings. The flower-covered headdress, carefully decorated with fresh flowers during the warmer months, has become one of the most distinctive symbols of Drokpa culture. More than decoration, it represents a connection to nature, community, and traditions that continue to hold deep cultural meaning. Culture in the Drokpa villages is preserved through everyday life, rather than museums or history books. Ancient songs are still sung during celebrations. Traditional dances bring entire communities together during seasonal festivals. Weddings continue to follow customs that have been practiced for generations, strengthening family ties and community relationships. Elders share stories of their ancestors, teaching younger generations about the history, values, and identity of their people. Language remains another important part of this heritage. Although many villages today also learn neighboring languages, the traditional Drokpa language continues to be spoken within families and during community gatherings. Every conversation helps preserve a cultural identity that has survived in these mountains for centuries, despite increasing contact with the outside world. Religion is woven naturally into daily life. Prayer flags flutter across rooftops and mountain passes, carrying prayers with the wind according to Buddhist belief. Small shrines stand beside homes, while monasteries continue to serve as places of worship, learning, and community gathering. Religious festivals mark the changing seasons, bringing villagers together in moments of prayer, celebration, and gratitude. For the Drokpa, spirituality is not separated from everyday life. Respect for nature, compassion toward others, and gratitude for each harvest remain values that guide the community throughout the year. The mountains are not viewed simply as part of the landscape, but as places deserving respect, shaping both spiritual beliefs and daily traditions. Yet even as these customs remain strong, change has slowly begun to reach the villages. Modern education, improved transportation, and increasing contact with the outside world are creating new opportunities for younger generations. At the same time, these changes raise important questions about how traditional knowledge and cultural identity can be preserved in the years ahead. The future of the Drokpa villages now depends on finding a balance between protecting the past and embracing the opportunities of the present. Education has gradually become one of the biggest forces shaping the future of the Drokpa villages. For generations, knowledge was passed from parents to children through daily life. Farming techniques, traditional crafts, local stories, religious practices, and survival skills were all learned within the family. Every generation inherited the experience of those who came before. Today, that tradition continues, but alongside a modern education system. Schools have become more accessible than they once were, giving children opportunities that previous generations never had. For many young people, education offers the possibility of continuing their studies in larger towns and cities beyond the mountains. But with new opportunities come new challenges. Many young villagers leave in search of higher education, employment, and a different way of life. Some eventually return to their communities, while others choose to build their future elsewhere. As each generation spends more time away from the villages, concerns grow about the future of the Drokpa language, traditional customs, and the cultural knowledge that has survived for centuries. Tourism has also become part of this changing landscape. Visitors arrive hoping to experience the unique culture of the Drokpa villages, admire their traditional clothing, and learn about a community that has remained largely isolated from the modern world. Tourism has created new sources of income for many families, supporting local businesses, handicrafts, and cultural events. At the same time, it has introduced new influences. Mobile phones, the internet, and easier transportation have connected these remote settlements to a rapidly changing world. While these developments have improved communication and access to information, they have also brought questions about how much change a traditional community can accept without losing its identity. For the people of the Drokpa villages, preserving culture has never meant rejecting progress. Instead, it means carrying their traditions into the future while adapting to new realities. Festivals continue to be celebrated. Traditional clothing is still worn with pride. Families continue speaking their native language at home, and elders remain committed to passing their knowledge to the younger generation. The mountains have taught the Drokpa an important lesson. Nothing remains exactly the same. Seasons change, Rivers change their course, snow falls and melts. Generations grow older, and children become the guardians of tomorrow. The challenge has never been to stop change. It has been to protect what truly matters while moving forward. The Drokpa villages stand today as more than isolated settlements hidden among the mountains of the Tibetan plateau. They represent endurance, cultural identity, and the remarkable ability of a community to preserve its heritage despite the passing of time. Every stone house, every prayer flag, every festival, and every story reflects generations who chose to remain connected to the land that shaped them. Their journey reminds us that some of the world's greatest cultural treasures are not found inside museums or monuments. They continue to live through ordinary people, in ordinary villages, carrying extraordinary traditions. As the world moves faster than ever before, the Drokpa villages offer a rare glimpse into a different rhythm of life, one built on patience, community, respect for nature, and traditions that continue to survive high above the clouds. Thank you for joining this journey into one of the most remarkable communities of the Himalayas. If you enjoyed this documentary, don't forget to subscribe and join us again as we continue exploring the world's most remote landscapes, hidden cultures, and extraordinary ways of life. Until the next journey.